Hi everyone. This week we're going to look at a workshop approach to writing and spelling instruction. We already know that reading and writing have a lot in common. Reading involves decoding, writing involves encoding. Both rely on knowledge of sound symbol relationships. Reading requires recognition of written symbols. Writing involves production of these symbols. Readers have the context of an entire passage to assist them in pronouncing a word and understanding the meaning. Writers take words and put them into a context. Okay, that is a ton of information in that very short paragraph. The question is, how does it transfer to instruction? What does it mean for teaching writing and spelling? As I said earlier, we're going to look at the workshop approach to writing and spelling by examining writing samples and playing with words. Max Brand, who was a teacher from Columbus, Ohio, in one of the suburbs, says there are 4 essential elements that identify word-savvy classrooms. In these classrooms, he says, students listen to text, write daily, read daily, and study words. What does he mean by study words? In the opening pages of his book, Word Savvy, there's a quote from one of his students. And it says, "I think spelling tests are unnecessary. Do you know why? In the 3rd grade, I had a spelling test and one of the words was necessary. I memorized it for the week and got it right for the test. But now in 5th grade, I know I spell it wrong all the time. That's a perfect example. They don't help me remember the words for life." And that is so true. Students memorize words for a spelling test and then cannot accurately spell them in their own writing. So they really don't know the words. There's all kind of thoughts about writing and spelling and word study. Some of those names that you're going to become familiar with are Donald Graves, Lucy Calkins, Ralph Fletcher, Katie Wood Ray. All of them are big with writing and spelling. Word study, Fountas and Pinnell are the gurus of word study. Anytime you have an opportunity to read their stuff on word study, take it. Another one of Max Brand's students, when speaking about word study, said, "I think word study is where you learn how to spell words and how to tell words apart, like there, and there, or effect and affect. It also helps you know where to put them in a sentence and know what they mean." So think about, as you are working this week, about writing and spelling under that word study umbrella. We want to become a wordsmith when playing with language. Our goal is to help students develop word consciousness in order to become better readers and writers. By looking at word structures, our students can learn how words are related and how they can be changed by adding letters, clusters, and larger word parts. We're going to look at affixes and root words, syllables and accents, and add to our vocabulary through interesting and specialized words. Please begin by clicking on Family Tree of Language, and then just go on down the page. By the end of the week, you will examine spelling within the context of the writing process. You will use a continuum of development to form instructional practice. You will become a wordsmith by exploring morphemic and structural analysis of words. You're going to examine Greek and Latin roots. You're going to search websites for information on specialty words, and you're going to participate in group discussions, as our forums are. Reading assignments for this week. Chapter 6 in Word Identification Strategies is analyzing the structure of long words in 3rd grade and above. And the high points of this chapter are readers automatically recognize and pronounce large, intact letter groups in long words. Many word parts indicate meaning. For example, the prefix un in unhappy, the suffix ly in friendly, and the root word sign in signal and signature. Syllables are units of pronunciation, such as the syllables distribute in distribute. The strategy of analyzing long words to find useful multi-letter groups is more efficient than other word identification strategies, according to Barbara Fox in our text. The strategy of using large multi-letter groups in the structure of long words is the last word identification strategy to develop before readers automatically recognize the words they see in text. And then also, please review these articles: Word Study, Working and Playing with Words; Word Study, Learning Word Patterns; and Word Study Activities from Words Their Way. There's also internet resources for you to view. Developmental spelling stages is Forum 6-1. Your text suggests stages of word learning for young children. Most word sleuths agree on 4 to 5 developmental spelling stages in writing. The most frequent are emergent spelling, letter name spelling, within word pattern spelling, and syllable juncture spelling, and derivational consistency spelling. Spelling stages. If you put that in a Google search, you're going to find lots of information. Okay, so I want you to select 2 pieces of writing that your student has done. These can be stories, essays, informational writing, whatever kind of writing you have had the student do independently. Use the developmental spelling stage descriptors from the website you chose to determine word study instruction. You're going to post the student writings as an attachment with your discussion in this forum, along with 2 word study activities that would be appropriate for this student, and include your rationale. So, again, you're going to select 2 pieces of writing from your student that they've done independently. Use the developmental spelling stage descriptors from the website you chose to determine word study instruction. Then you're going to post the writings as an attachment with your discussion in this forum, along with 2 word study activities that are appropriate for this student, and you're going to include your rationale. Please remember that you need to respond to 2 of your peers. You guys are doing a great job getting that conversation going back and forth. Excellent. Forum 6.2, Word Explanations. After reading Chapter 6 in our text, choose a category under Structural Analysis. Research that category, finding websites, lessons, books, activities that would be appropriate for that category that you've chosen. You're going to create another Pinterest board similar to what you did in week 5 with a clear explanation that explains your category. Then you're going to find no less than 20 pins from Pinterest that you can pin on your board. Remember that you're going to respond substantially to 2 of your peers. And also, these boards are for you to use activities when tutoring your student. So use each other's ideas. You guys are super resources for each other. Your phonics lab assignment this week is you're continuing to collect artifacts and putting your story together of your students' learning. Continue with your lab timesheet. Remember, 10 hours of face-to-face work, 10 hours of prep for a total of 20. This week in the forum, post briefly details of your experience with your student and any questions you may have. Have your sessions changed from the beginning? What new lessons are you using with your student? And you do not need to respond to each other unless you choose to do so. If you have any questions, please email me. You guys are doing great.